Hello again. Welcome to my stream. Yeah, so I thought I would talk a little bit about some things that people might be interested in and how I find out what people are interested in. So, in case you're wondering, I'm going to give you a recipe on how to come up with content if you're a content creator. It's pretty simple. It comes down to AI. What I do is I am the master of common sense. Let me just say. So what I do is I just go on one of the AI platforms. It could be Gemini, it could be Grok, it could be ChatGPT. And I just ask them what is trending right now. It's that easy. And then, when they tell me, I ask them a little bit more information on something I might be willing to talk about. And voila, I got something going. I got something to talk about. For one, AI is trending. And what am I talking about? AI. So that's one of my recipes for coming up with content, in case anybody was wondering. And just this whole VTuber thing right here, I used AI for that also. To build my VTuber, to come up with the backgrounds. I mean, and it's all free. That's the crazy thing. It's that easy. So yeah, in case you guys were wondering. Like today I went on one of the platforms and I looked up just what I said. And some things came up. Like, for example, celebrity drama. That seems to be trending right now. What else? Scary movie trailer Blackpink, that's trending right now. Absolute Wonder Woman, I think it's a comic book series, is trending right now. Oh wait, Scary Movie 2026 is a reboot with the Wayans brothers. That's trending. It's that easy. Just talk about those things, and then you bring it up and make sure you add a hashtag of whatever you're talking about, and that's one way to start getting traffic and getting people to pay attention to your content. Just find out what's trending on with, AI. Don't be closed-minded. I mean, you don't even really need AI. You could use Google. But I advise asking what's relative to the platform that you use the most. The more relevant, the better. Yep. So getting back to news on my property. Looks like I'm not buying property. My property is I think I'm getting my earnest payment back. That's good. I thought I might have had to file a lawsuit, but thankfully I didn't. I have enough headaches on my shoulders right now. I would hate to have to do that. But yeah, now I don't know what I'm gonna buy. I still want to buy property, but it's so hard to buy property without, all the contingencies. And then when you find a property, and you realize it's not everything you hoped it was going to be, you hurt feelings. You hurt a lot of realtors, and real estate agents, and lawyers, real estate attorneys' feelings when you don't buy it. I guess you have to have a thick skin. But I mean, I have a pretty thick skin. I was bullied a lot growing up, so I have no problem hurting people's feelings. I mean, it's not my preference. It's not like I go out trying to hurt people's feelings, but I mean, hey, if you're not going to give me a deal and there's a bunch of contingencies or reasons why I shouldn't buy the property, then I will look for another property. And I mean, I might throw something out there like, hey, you find me a good property, I'll give you 10% commission on top of, the seller commission. That way I can give realtors some incentive to actually help me. But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of realtors are just looking for a stupid person to sell a crappy property too, so it's rough. It's rough out there. A lot of people are desperate for money, and they'll, a lot of people are so desperate for money that they will do a lot of things that are unethical to get that money, and it's just a tough world right now. But I'm so used to that life that it's like I don't get overwhelmed by it. I'm comfortable in the chaos. Chaos is my second home. I welcome it. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, or wasn't spoiled. So I'm willing to play dirty to get what I want, If somebody plays dirty with me first, I'll play dirty with them too. That's kind of how you got to do it in things like real estate. Like I said, when I say play dirty, I mean willing to hurt people's feelings. Willing to not buy the property no matter how much you get along with the real estate agent. No matter how nice they are to you. Can't let your emotions get in the way. At the same time, I think real estate and fighting are a lot alike in that manner. If you want to win a fight, in the ring, which is legal, I don't advocate fighting illegally. I advocate fighting in the ring. I will never fight somebody on the street. I don't care how many bad things they say to me. And ultimately, if you think about it, if you're in a situation where somebody is disrespecting you, staying calm, the man who stays calm is the one that is the most in control. That's the truth. The one that loses their mind and acts, crazy, screaming and hollering, they're always going to be perceived as, the one that's not in control. So I advise whenever you're in that situation, just stay calm. But yeah, going back to fighting in the ring, you can't be afraid to hurt feelings, Like you're punching and kicking the other guy. How do you win? You have to hurt the other guy. How do you win in real estate? Sometimes you have to back out of a deal because it doesn't have everything you're looking for. And yeah, you hurt people's feelings in the process. Not sometimes, most of the time. So that's just the way it be. It applies to so many things in life. Let's say you want a nice car. If you want the nicest car in the neighborhood, you gotta be picky. You gotta take your time with your decisions, you know. That's what you gotta do. It's a long journey to the top. I'm not saying I'm at the top, but I'm a lot further ahead than a lot of people. Now that I've moved to like a smaller town, and I see and I, you know, have mingled with other people, I mean, I'm definitely not at the top when it comes to bigger cities, because like that's a whole different level. But when you go to like a medium-sized city and you've spent as much time as me trying to survive in the big city, you learn certain things on how to function, how to deal with people, and it transforms you, transforms your mind, your thinking. It, in a way, it changes your consciousness. You become, I guess, in a way, more enlightened. So yeah, one of those key points to enlightenment in my experience is realizing that you can never trust anybody but yourself. At the end of the day. If you want to go places, the only person you can listen to is yourself. It's like a horse with blinders on. You have to tune everybody out and only focus on your path. Because there's a lot of people out there that they may seem like they want to help you, but a lot of them are just acting out of insecurity. So you have to learn to use your common sense. Going back to that. So at the end of the day, your common sense is the only thing that's going to lead to your salvation. Common sense and discipline. That's my opinion. I was reading, or no, I wasn't reading. I was listening to this talk by, what's his name? Warren Buffett, I think that's his name. And he was saying that when all it takes to be successful is $20,000. Saving $20,000. And And some of the points he was making was when you have 20,000 in the bank, you're no longer a slave to corporate America, because you can quit your job and still survive for a year after that. Yeah, granted, you will need to get another job, but when you have that much money in your account, I'm not saying it's a lot of money. You're a different person. You're more intelligent, you're more confident. I mean, you're happier, you're on a whole different level. Like, let's say you still have a job and you have that money saved up. You're going to make better decisions. You're not going to feel as desperate. And that's kind of the point at which I am in my life. I'm not saying I have $20,000 in the bank, which is really not that much. But I'm saying that I am at a point where I actually feel independent. And if I never lived in a big city, I would have never been to that point. Like I said, I'm in a smaller city now, and I'm talking and mingling with people that have lived in these cities, these smaller cities their whole life, never took any kind of risk because they never left the town. And I see them, how miserable they are, still literally going insane from bad decisions. From living in a comfortable life their whole life, never taking chances, never taking risk. And it is sad. So don't be afraid to take risks, my friends. Don't be afraid to hurt feelings. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one that cares about you. You're the only one that's ever going to look out for you. Learn to be independent. Anyway, we're at like 24 minutes, so I'm out of here. I hope my message was able to help some of you. I'll see you later. Take care.